And here it goes. Give it like 10 seconds. And there you go. It should be alright now. It should be okay now. Yes, it's working. Oh my god, I'm learning. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm learning. Now I'm gotta check my YouTube. Yes, it's working! It's working, people, it's working. Alright, we can now start. We can now start. Okay, Garlic0704 from Twitch says, I think it's good now. It is. Judith, it's me. The 2212 thing. 2212 thing, ERB rave. Yes. Cool underscore account 1. What this? This is this. This is table. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Judith, no more pronounced number. Exclamation mark. ERB angry. Is this Nodemon? Hello, Unk. Hello, Unk. Yes, Nodemon from YouTube. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Right now I am having my lunch. You guys have your lunch yet? Alright, let's go straight to the thingy. Ken Manager from YouTube says, Elbat. Elbat indeed. Okay, alright people, this is the tier list. The tier list for tier list by table. But yes, we're going to be tier listing tier list. And also, we're saying like from our experience collectively as, a member of this channel, but also my experience from what I've seen. I'll be describing what I think is, fair for all these tier lists that I've listed below. And for that, we can start easy with cars. Cars, in my opinion, is one of the most, tier listed stuff. I would say, right? Many people tier list cars. There's a lot of people that is like, no, this car is better, that car is better, and stuff like that. But it's safe to say that car is very much tier listed and debated among the people. So, what do you guys think cars should belong? As in like the tier list section. Ken Manager from YouTube says, what are we having for lunch? I have potatoes. Potato. Roasted potatoes, stir-fried roasted potatoes, some tofu, and some beef. Vitamorse4389 from YouTube says, oh my god, I'm 2 minutes late. It's okay, the stream already started for like 15 minutes, but like, there's some problems with YouTube, so I kinda restarted it. Electric underscore A34 says, hi table, hi Electric. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Judith Mai from Twitch says, goat it. Goat it. Goat it. Goat it. Indeed. Goat it indeed. We have a lot of tier lists, do tier lists. Honestly. So, right now, this one, when when it comes to cars and tier lists for cars, I would say, I would say it is slightly better than average in terms of like the tier list section. So I'm gonna put cars on the middle. It's not like the worst of all tier lists. I felt like most people that is rating like car for like tier lists are actually having like good argument and points to all the tier listing. And so I felt like it is the perfect start to our tier list of tier list. What do you guys think? Alright, electric underscore A34 from YouTube says, what are we rating? We are rating tier list. Tier list for tier list. As you can see above, it says tier list for tier list by table. We are tier listing stuff. And we are going to, based on a tier list, we're going to tier list them. So like we're gonna see if whatever the tier list, if it's very one-sided, or if it's like if the opinion is not valid, or if the opinion is like valid, and based from that we put them in the tier list for those tier listers. So we're talking about a broad spectrum of like tier lists, by the way, and also that there are tier lister and people that tier list the tier list. You know what I mean? Which is why we're putting the tier list into a tier list. We're putting the tier list and the tier lister of the tier list into this tier list. And for those people that tier listed cars, I feel like it's a good solid B, a high B, a good standard for everything. Why is car B tier? Because it's a good standard for everything. There are people that, you know, uh, rated cars, like very like skewed based on like many things, based on like most of the obvious one is brand. We don't want to base, you know, most on just brand. Consumerism, we what is consumerism, right? Like we take everything that we use the thing and product that we like, and so brands and stuff like that take advantage by making it look a certain way, but doesn't contribute to the overall experience of the product. Which is why I felt like car is in the B tier. The car tier list is in the B tier. There are so many unnecessary things for cars to do nowadays. Like, what what improvement have you seen about cars for the past, 50 years? Not much, in my personal opinion. Not much. Not much at all. Ergonomics, yes, that's great, but like, what else? You know what I mean? Cars in the past can go fast. Cars in the present can go fast. But we haven't like achieved something that is mind blowing. Yes, we changed the source of like energy from fuel to electric, but what else? You know what I mean? If you felt like it is such a big change, I could change it in the tier list over here. If you guys are overwhelmingly supportive of a change, I can change the tier list. But for now, I felt like car is the perfect middle. Um, electric underscore A34 says, oh, from YouTube. Electric underscore A34 says, I like the new chat list, by the way. Nice addition. Thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. To the my next exclamation mark, electric underscore A34 says, yeah, well, nowadays it's just design and specs. While specs also have since the past. Since the past, we still uses the same specs. Since the 50 years ago, we still use the same specs. The specs already existed. It's just that people just interchangeably, change the price and stuff like that. Which we will get into later on in the tier list. But now we move on to the next tier list, color. Now, color tier list is very weird. I don't know where to put color tier list because we perceive color in, you know, everyone perceive color differently. You know, I feel like everyone perceive color differently, and the thing is that people like me, if you guys do not know, I'm colorblind. I'm colorblind, and so I perceive color differently than you. Probably I perceive color differently than you, right? So to understand like color and also people that tier list color, we have to understand what color is fundamentally. And color is something visual, something that we can see and experience. However, because we cannot understand what other people experience, we do not know how to tier list this properly. However, that doesn't stop people from voicing their opinion and also tier list colors. Which is why there are the most hated color and the most widely accepted color. Uh, let's see. Electric underscore A34 from YouTube says, Bro, people just do whatever they want with color tier list XD. True. Everyone could also voice their opinion when it comes to color, but everyone will experience it differently. So it is which is why like we're going to tier list the color tier list. What do we think about the color tier list? There is like a codex of color theory. Usually they'll go from like one thing that is very linear is brightness. At least from what I've seen, color theory and stuff like that. One linear thing is brightness. The most linear thing, things that can be measured, like the closest thing that can be measured that is not colors, which is brightness. And brightness is inherently part of color because, they change the mood and everything. Like the entire integrity of color comes from brightness and light. And before we can like perceive a color, we need to be able to perceive light. And thus, brightness is one of a very key importance in a color tier list. And it goes from dark to bright, and usually it is from black to white. Like I said, it's very linear. Pick it up, guys. She's colorblind. Come on. Judith Mai from Twitch says, "Do you hate colors?" Question mark. I don't hate colors. I don't hate colors. I'm just colorblind. Electric A34 says, "Genuinely, color tier list mostly just depends on how a color makes people feel when they look at it." Very true. Very true. In fact, there's a study that says that people in the past, a prisoner wear pink inmate outfit, and that reduces aggression by a lot. But now they change it to orange to warn people that they're inmates. Let's see. Klein Morvetti 96321 from YouTube says, "Colors are without a doubt S tier." Oh, I see. Seems like Moretti has decided that it is supposed to be S tier. Judith Mai, color is D. No new color found yet. That is true. I thought, actually, no, there is new color found. I don't know how well versed are you in the color theory, but they say that there is a new color found, which is technically invisible, but they would say that it is in the shade of blue. In YouTube, Australian just followed me. Thank you for following me, Australian. You haven't chatted with me, but thank you for following me. Let's see. Garlic0704 says, I'm going to the past. Going to the past? Alright, alright, people. I would say, okay, one thing that we cannot really tier in a color tier list is that the color itself, how we experience and perceive color, we cannot really, tier list that because it is usually skewed to our understanding and fundamental, um, able to view and perceive the color itself. But what we can hear is the name of the colors that have been given. So right now some we're gonna pull up some weird color names, alright people? Now, why I'm pulling out the weird color name? mostly because mostly because we need to compare the good and the bad. So we're gonna choose like weird color names. Many people said that weird is a negative thing, but I said that weird is perfectly balanced because weird means that majority of people could like it, but majority of people could also dislike it. It could be very heavily skewed to one side, right? And so we will see uh we will see gross and funny name. Yes, gross is definitely a negative connotation, but I would say funny is a neutral connotation, which means that it's not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be negative, but it's also not like the most positive thing. Although it usually implies that it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't cause harm because funny. Alright. Goose turd green, a yellowish green shade actually used in old fashioned textile context. Okay, I think that goose turd green is kind of funny, and I wouldn't say that it's gross, other than the fact that it is yellowish green. Green is nice, vibrant green is nice. Yellowish green, especially when the color doesn't mix as well, then it's definitely to me. It's kind of weird. A drunk tank pink, a specific shade of pink historically used in holding cells because tests suggest it has calming effect on aggressive people. Now this is the one that I was saying, the one that usually they make inmates wear the color of their clothes this kind of pink because the study mostly concluded that it has a calming effect on people that is aggressive. It is a docile color, they would say, I'm guessing. I would say that is a good one. I would say, for the purpose of the color, historically speaking, it is pretty cool. I don't know, it's just my opinion. Now, let's see. Uh, Electric A34. Yeah, but counterpoint, people use dark mode instead of light mode, lol. I use light mode too sometimes. I use dark mode because I like to surf the web at night. See, Nana from Twitch says, peep, crying emoji, and also clapping emoji. Nana says, smooth stream clapping emoji. Thank you, Nana. Judith Mai says, they be making anything look new as new color. I mean, true. Color does, imply emotion as well. Electric underscore A34 on YouTube says, what the hell is puke? Well, we'll get into that in a second. Vitamor's 4389 color tier is B tier, in my opinion, because who the fuck cares as long as it looks good? So true. Uh, Judith Mike from Twitch says, who in charge making the color name very unintelligent name? I mean, there's cool names too, right? Electric underscore A34 says, since colors are genuinely all over the place and no one can really agree on a collective like color, I'll say color tier is gotta be B or C. Indeed. Uh, let's see. Let's go to another one. Elephant's Breath, a warm mutated gray top popularized by modern paint companies. I guess that makes sense. Like, the gray, industrial standard of gray, I guess. I think that makes sense. Dad Selman. Okay. Maybe we are taking it a little bit too far. A muted dusty pink beige where dead just refer to flat, not shiny finish. I see. The context of the name is also very important, or else it would be very, very weird. Puke, a deep murky brownish black tone. Well, this is the one that Electric says it's kind of weird. I mean, I understand puke is definitely definitely a negative one, I would say. Historic and oddly specific name, Caput Mortem, Latin for dead head. This purple. Okay, I want you guys to think maturely, okay? Don't be like kaput. All right. This deep purple brown comes from the residue left behind during a chemical process involving iron oxide. See? It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. It has something to do with science. Pretty cool. Um, Lusty Gallon, a bright green 16th century English fashion representing a lively reddish hue. I like this one. I really like this one. Lusty Gallant. It's a pretty cool name, I'm not gonna lie. Gallant is such a good name. Lusty makes it even more cooler. More aura. Drake's neck. Okay. Drake's neck. Okay, let's see. The chat. Night Vibes 343 says hi. Night Vibes 343 running down the gutter with a piece of bread and butter. Interesting. Klein Moretti 96321 from YouTube says B and C are way too low, man. At least A tier for colors. Night Vibes 343. Anyone here catches Bob Burgers? Stop breaking plates. What? Klein Moretti 96321 says, Night Vibes, what are you talking about? Night Vibes, huh? I don't know anything you're saying. Alright. Flame of Burnt Brandy. Now this is a cool name. A rich, fiery, reddish brown popular for Victorian garments. Now that is a cool name. I like that one. Australian. Australian. Okay, what should we represent Australia with? Australian. It's a color of Australia, let's be real. A dark sandy orange yellow named after an 1800s for dress fabric, so it's not Australia based. Australian. My goodness, it sounds like a very cool name for an ore. Or like a metal. Australian. This is made out of Australian. I'm 100% Australia, so I have to make so the color of my clothing and the material is made out of Australian. Alright. I would say that color is just slightly above B. Just slightly above B. Now that people have like convinced me that it's definitely better than B, but definitely not an S tier because everyone perceives it so differently. But for one thing for certain is that our life is enriched by colors, and we will probably be a very very dull creature, no pun intended, without colors. So I'm gonna place color at the A tier. Any objections? Let's see. Um, I'm already 9621 says, what do you mean by stop breaking plates? Nightly Vibes 343 says that one episode. Sanguine Spin Beamus Corpus Edemus Electric underscore A34. We are not talking about Bob Burgers here crying. Crying emoji. Purring emoji. Judith Mai says, it's buffering so hard on my end. Crying emoji. Oh, I'm sorry, Judith. Um, I don't know why that's the case, but I'm trying my best. Nightly Vibes 3243, right? So if you don't like me, then just leave. You know what I say, guys. I'm sorry for existing. Bob had diarrhea. I shouldn't exist. Uh, I don't know what this night vibes guy says is being, but electric underscore 834. So I'm so confused right now. Climber ready 96321 and 9 life. No, 9 life, don't leave. Night vibes 343 says I'm so confused right now too. Even more confused than you are. Then just watch. No need to comment if you're confused. Soon, the more you watch, the more you understand. Climber ready 96221 says, yeah. Night Vibes 3203 says, I don't know why I even exist. But then figure it out yourself. You need to figure your life yourself. Without needing others' opinions, you choose the path of your life. You don't need to ask people for their opinion on how you should live your own life. You carve your own path and live through it. If you want to be with others, you need to start agreeing and disagreeing with them. But do remember, when you agree with them doesn't mean that they like you more, and when you disagree them doesn't mean that they hate you more. And you should expect the same when other people does it to you. Climb already says your night vibes, chill out, dog. Electric underscore 834 says to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. So true. Do that right now. Climb already 96321 says exactly. Make sure to comment as well. Blueswalla2212 says hey from YouTube. Hello. Now we're gonna move on to the next tier list. Music. This one is from Wikipedia. It is the record from Wikipedia. So I felt like they don't have like copyright there, so I just downloaded images from there. So music tier list. Again, it is something that I felt like people experience it differently based on the listener, and also their experience with music as well. I personally doesn't have so much experience in music, so when somebody's playing an instrument, sometimes I don't understand how impressive it is and how difficult it is. But when they tell me, I think about it and be like, huh, that makes sense. I say that music tier lists are kinda goated, because music is great. Usually, there isn't such thing as bad music. I take it back, there is a lot of bad music out there, but when people are actually seriously making music, usually it's not that bad. It's very hard to mess up music as long as you have a sense of, like artistry, and also, you know, music for ears for music in general. If you listen to music ever in your life, ever, you can probably make a music in your brain. You just need some time. It's not a thing that you should rush. I feel like music is something that is inherently in all of us. We instruments. Let's see. Electric underscore 834 says the algorithm demands it. Yes. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Claim already says, yeah, A tier, for real. Color is A tier. First time chatter. Remisen. Estoy aquí por ti. I do not understand Spanish, but por favor. No, that's French. Never mind. Uh, ¿Cómo estás? Um, Night vibes 343. We're jealous the red gaze is not as strong of a color fixer. I, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Luswala2212 says, it was lag on Twitch, so I'm here. Yes, you be here. Night vibes 343. How do I handle being neglected by society? Everyone hates me these days. You don't need everyone. You really don't need everyone. You seriously, you really don't need everyone. You could be alone too if you wanted to. You don't have to be alone if you don't want to. But you gotta understand that people have their own likes and dislikes, and so knowing that, you'll be able to change how you act around people. Anyway, I know a tier list about Limbus Company. Everyone hates me. What? It's not about Limbus Company, but we'll get there when it comes to game section. Electric underscore 834. This gives me, sir. This is a Wendy's vibe. True. This is a Wendy's. Luswala 2212. Music is total goated. So true. Clan Moretti 96321. Again, music has to be A tier or S tier. Music list is an easy S tier. I agree with you all. Music is supposed to be a higher tier because there are some, to some people, music can be boring. I don't know how, but some people dislike music, and I have happened to know someone that don't like music. They felt like music is boring, and then so I decided to ask them, why do you feel like music is boring? Have you just not found the music for you yet? Their answer might surprise you guys. They said that music felt plain to me because I already played a lot of music. They said that I have understand a lot of music. They played a lot of instrument, and they say that music is kind of meh to them. And ever since young, they have studied music already. But as they get older, when they get a job, they stopped, progressing in their study for music, and their interest changed. And so they say that music is dull. But that is the only person that I've talked to that hated music, right? I guess they don't hate it. They just said that it's kind of boring. They haven't really liked any music. But I guess I can understand in a way that music is very situational. Like, for example, when we are free and listening to a music, we feel much more impactful. The music is more impactful towards us. But when I'm just listening to songs while studying, I guess it is less impactful. Or albeit it could be distractive and disruptive to our daily routine. But for those people that listen casually while doing work and stuff like that, how would you say that their experience with music is the same with people that curate music, that listen to music and give it critics? I think it's, a little bit different. Let's see. Natsuki9470 from YouTube says, good morning. Good morning, Natsuki. Knife Vibes 343 says, I've been feeling really ignored and felt left out lately. Feel like nobody knows me or care what I have to say. I don't really know how to handle it. Need someone to talk to. If you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to someone. The reason why people has not been noticing or caring about you is that the things you say has no relevance to their interest. Like, for example, right now I'm doing tier list, and you talk about what again? Burgers, Limbus Company, what a game, and also some random things that has no relevance. And so you can see, the thought process behind everyone here, right? Like, what the hell is he talking about? You know what I mean? It's really, really not hard to understand night vibes. Um, Electric 34 says, Sir, this is a live stream, sir. This is a Wendy's. This is a live stream. Uh, okay. Night vibes, man. I don't think this is the right place to talk about this. True, we are talking about tier list. Um, Luswala 2212 Night vibes 343. F off, sir. Seriously. Uh, don't say it like that. Maybe it's just lonely. You guys can talk to him if you guys want. Electric underscore 834 Night vibes. Generally, go talk and hug your parents, please. Yes, go give your parents a hug. All of you guys can do it too. Natsuki 9470 says lol. Lol? That's the only thing you want to say? Alright, so I felt like music is either A tier or S tier. I'm going to put music on. I'm gonna put music higher than color, but still lower than S tier for now. We can change it a little bit later. This is not a finalized tier list just yet. Okay, let's quickly move on. Next tier, food, easily S tier. No objection here. No objection. I don't even want to hear it. Food is S tier. Don't even want to hear it, bro. Don't even want to hear it. Don't want to even hear it, bro. Nuts, Wicked, Night Vibes, 343 S tier, Frill. Yes, food is definitely S tier. I don't want to hear any objections. Natsuki for 9470 chatbox reading machine for real. True. I'm eating my lunch, by the way. So yeah, I'm eating food right now. So I'm safe to say that food is S tier. No need to debate on this. I don't even want to hear any debates. You have it to survive, you have it as a recreation, and you have it because it's good. It looks nice. Music is a form of art, but music cannot be, logical, in a sense. But food can be logical. We eat it to survive, we eat it to grow, we eat it to thrive. Food effectively saved and kill us. Food is the reason why we live. Nice word, tree for tree. Hee hee ha ha. And music cannot be eaten, so true. Unfortunately, we can't eat music. Loki, we can't survive without food. Yep. What do you mean, Loki? I think I think we can definitely not survive without food. Live ice tree for tree, low connection right now, bad internet. I think it's also because of my stream. I'm sorry, guys. Electric underscore 834 says chewing ASMR. Yes. Just keep eating, people. Just keep eating. So, without a doubt, I felt like food is definitely S tier. I'm sorry. I'm just eating non-stop. Holy shit. I need to stop. Oh my god. Eating too much. Kinda hungry, man. um, let's see. Matthew 7, what? 1 to 2? Sounds weird. Bro using Bible verse now. Wait, what the hell? What? Is the stream okay? Hello? Bro using Bible verses now. I mean, yeah. Night vibes here. You're being a little bit strange, man. Can we get to the tier list again? Yes, yes. After I grab another bite. We just talked about food being S tier, okay? So I'm enjoying my food. Without a doubt. Now, the next tier list we have is games. In general, game tier list is, I would say, bogus. Honestly, I would say game tier list is bogus. You wanna know why? If you like playing an FPS game and you watch a tier list about games in general, what is the best game in general, you would see that FPS game is not gonna be in that tier list. But if you watch an FPS game tier list, we can definitely see that there is, like your favorite game will probably be in there. But then you'll be like, oh, but then, there's other games that I want to play too, not just FPS. So I felt like I felt like games in general, the tier list, is very, very skewed or heavily rated against other games as well. So it's definitely like a more of a personal matter. I feel like games are, something that can be liked or loved by everyone. However, everyone would, have different opinions about the games. Climb already 96321 from YouTube says the eating is making the stream lag. So true. I'm sorry. I'm eating the bit rate, guys. I'm sorry. Ugh. Electric underscore 834 says a fan in the background with the chewing ASMR. Yup. This is what we're watching right now. Electric 834, has my internet been this bad? Nightvice 343. I have bad internet connection. More climb already says, nah, this live stream is that's lagging. Electric says, or maybe it's table's mobile data. True, true. It's my mobile data. Claim already. Gotta tug it out. Luswala table eating ASMR. Yes, I'm sorry. I need to stop. I need to stop eating. But then again, this is my live stream, so I can technically do whatever I want. Yeah. But I'll take a break from eating and talk about games. I feel like games is kinda total bogus. Game tier lists are total bogus. You can enjoy a game tier list and then there'll be a random guy on the internet that will say that this game is trash. And it can be like it could be the best game you can play on your device, but then people will say, nah, this game is better, you know? And you can say that is objectively better, but you can't run it on your device because it is very either very expensive or heavy, inaccessible, your system just can't support the game. So I felt like game tier list in general is kind of BS. I feel like any games can be enjoyed by anyone. However, any games can be, disliked by anyone, right? Yes, you can have like a good trade about a game and a bad trade about a game, but same thing can be said for like those people that, have those very, very bad traits, can be won over by the simple fact that, oh, the game is free or whatever, like, oh, the game is free, the dev is giving out, like, stuff to the player and whatnot, you know. And there are good things that counterbalances, like, a game tier list, so to speak. So let's just put like a note in mind, because we want to speak for the general public uh, about games in general, right? Many parents said, oh, games made my children aggressive, violent, and whatnot. I think no, games are great, as in, if they play it under moderate circumstances and also under their logic and justification of why they should play it, I think that's totally fine. I said it now here, so for all the parents in the chat, I don't think there's any parents, but I'm just saying. Okay, let's see. Climb already says it's definitely not okay. Electric 834 chat, we are not fine. Lipswala2212 says just turn off Twitch. Climb already says walking on literal string right now. Night 5 says my iPad is lagging out so hard right now. I think I should. I would break just like time I did refraction railway line 6. Night Vibes says sorry for being off topic. Climb already said Night Vibes. I don't think it's your iPad, but rather the stream that's lagging. I think so. Give me a second. Checking YouTube. Give me a sec. Let me check my YouTube. Low key. Game tier lists suck. Play whatever you want. Climb already. Games feels like they're maxed B tier. I see. Yeah, I'm kinda lagging a lot right now. I'm so sorry, guys. It says that the game is the stream is not connecting that well. But other people's opinion are their own. You might love games, other things are bad, and that's fine. I'll go with C tiers, honestly. C tier is fair. Yep. I think that C tier is also fair. I agree with you guys. I felt like we can put this safely on the C tier. Ta-da! And now, weather tier list. Weather tier list. Okay. When it comes to weather and the tier list, we're gonna talk about you know, weather predictions, and also just the weather itself. I felt like weather and also weather tier list is completely valid. the people don't really tier list weather that much, but I would say that weather is, I don't know, the analysis of weather and also giving it classes, giving it like, more index and also like more research regarding it is important to just ecological like standpoint, and also that, how we would be able to benefit from weather in general. So I think that weather tier list makes a lot of sense, and that it very much so help in just human lives in general. Like if you know that it's gonna be like, stormy outside, or have a hailstone rain, tomorrow or whatever to your town, you can get ready for it, and it can definitely help you a lot. But more, you know, more than not nowadays, I would say weather isn't much of a problem now that there are the. But the thing is, weather prediction is getting more and more accessible. Sorry, yeah, more and more accessible and more accurate. So I guess that is one thing that is pretty good. Um. Oh no, the lag is a little bit too much now. You guys are messaging while I already move on to weather. Uh, Hold on, let me just put this right here. You can play all you want, even if you're unemployed. Uh, I mean, it's good. It's called having free time. But yeah, tiering the games that you've played is pretty cool, yeah. Um, I think that weather is also a low B tier. Like a low B tier. It's kind of helpful, listing out the weathers and, like, weather prediction in general. I feel like it's definitely something that we can benefit from, but it's not something that is huge. Like, for example, like, you have to go to work still, even though it's raining, and it sucks. And it sucks. And it sucks. And then you'll listen to a radio while you're going to work and be like, today's weather is gonna be sunny, and then you're gonna be like, fuck you, you know? Like, I had the same reaction many times when I was going to college and working, and it's raining so much, and you look at the weather prediction, it says it's gonna be sunny. And then it says there's gonna be a rainstorm, and then it's sunny. And then when I go outside, when I arrive to the location, almost arrived to the location, and suddenly it's storming, and then I'm like all wet. Like, I was like, what the hell do we want to do? Um, Table has experience when talking about incompatible games. Oh, compatibility? That was like such a long. Bro, the delay is insane. But yes, client Moretti 9621 says, just for stream delay reference, I'm writing this when she's talking about games being free. Oh my god. It's like 5 to 10 minutes. What the hell? I think because you guys are not catching up that well, I'm gonna still rate this a low B. It's a good thing, but it's not something that, really helps society in general, other than research or like more scientific purposes. Now, fashion tier list. I'm giving it a C immediately, right off ripped, because when fashion just created, when fashion is new, when fashion actually have like cool purposes and stuff like that, like, like, uh, for example, like jeans having multiple pockets. It's pretty cool. I feel like those are cool leather pants that is, as comfortable as like a, you know, thingy. Bro, what the hell's wrong with my mic? Mic died. So I think that fashion, when it serves a purpose, when it has something to do with something, like when it has something that it's for, not just looks by itself or trends, which we will talk about later. I felt like fashion is a good thing. Fashion is a very, very niche thing because if you care about fashion, you usually would care about beauty, you will usually care about, this and that. You would sometimes care about healthcare, but then it doesn't go anywhere from there. When it comes to music, it can be applied for various reasons. What music can represent like music can represent the weather. Music can represent colors, right? And food can be like represented by music. You can say like, oh yes, that spicy bologna probably have like a rock music. That that sandwich that my mom made probably have like a country music play. Whatever it is, like all the things that is very high in tier that we have something to do with like just being the core of human. However, fashion, I don't think that much. I feel like fashion can represent a person's, you know, uh, appearance. It can represent a person's emotions and also their attitude towards others. But other than that, it's very hard to like judge fashion and materials in general. Because some people, like I said, they have different opinions when it comes to fashions. Especially for those that are really, really good at what they're doing. Like, have you guys seen the fashion shows? Especially the one that is like, prestigious or expensive fashion show that they paid like I don't know, just millions just to make the fashion show like available, hiring models, stuff like that. It is a little bit too gaudy of a tier list. It's a little bit too, I don't know, like it's very skewed. Let me see. Zephyr says, I watched from 12 minute, now it's minus 7 minute. I am still confused about the criteria. Criteria of what? There is D to S tier. Being S tier is the best and D tier is the worst. And we're seeing it based from how the people tier list the stuff they're tier listed, and also how in general the tier list has helped or, benefit people as well as what they are tier listing. Uh, Luswala2212 says, turn off the Twitch, I guess. What's happening with Twitch? Something's happening with Twitch? Electric A34 says, it should be anything Zeph. Anything Zeph, it should say live. Climber Ready says, I'm actually laughing. Zephyr says, I manually slide it to delay because it is possible. Electric 34 says, yeah, that's an option when streaming, by the way. You can either allow people to go back and forth during your stream or keep it live. It's a big disadvantage, though, in this interactive stream. Yes. I can be affected by your can be affected by how you guys describe the tier of things, but I would still tier things my own way, with just a little bit of you guys to convince me otherwise. I would say fashion is a C or D tier, so I'm gonna put it lower than games. Now this one, we're moving on to branding. Branding, in my opinion, is an interesting. I'm gonna download this. So that I can like keep track. Branding is an interesting like part in the tier list because I felt like in one way branding is great. Branding in general is great because you want people to know that that is your product. Because of competition, branding has been like very like difficult, and so thus born the branding tier list. When people, tier list brands and stuff like that, I would say branding is a good way of putting into tier list. However, branding is still a little bit far from its peak potential, because whenever we talk about like branding, we would just say, oh, their product is good, their product is bad, but we never really talk and go into what kind of product and this and that. We always just list out one or two of their product, not all of them, because nowadays there are corporate giants that have hundreds, thousands of products, and we as a consumer choose them for only one or two of your product when they represent so much more. And so branding in a way can be both a good way of telling people that yes, the branding tier list is a good way to tell people, yes, this company make this, but they also make these other things, and this other thing could be either good or bad, so they put it in the tier list based from that. I felt like branding tier list is good because it tells people they will need to consume and use whatever they want to from the brand to be more cautious or to rest assured that their product is good. And thus I felt like, it deserved a slightly higher score. Now I'm gonna put it a little bit better than car. It's higher tier than car. Branding just in general. Branding tier list in general is pretty good. Most of the branding tier lists have a lot of factual based stuff to be like, oh, okay, this brand usually blah 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 blah, this brand usually blah, 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 and it's most of the time true. And so I felt like branding tier list is high B tier, a solid B tier. Let's see. Testing, it's not lagging now. Wow. Just wait for night 5s. Oh yeah, it's not lagging. The delay is already there though. Yes, unfortunate. So people, my people, I feel like we need to continue moving on. We're gonna move on to the next one, and afterwards, we're just gonna chat a little bit because it seems like there is already delay on my stream. Kinda don't know what to do about it. Now, what is this? What do you guys think this is? This is precious metal. This is also from Wikipedia, but this is nugget of this is basically a gold nugget that they dug out and also wash it. Precious metal tier list. I don't know about you guys. But precious metal tier list is completely trash. Put it on D tier right now. Unless you guys can convince me that precious metal tier list, it actually makes sense. Precious metal tier list is driven so much by marketing that it's not even funny anymore. Usually, people would say, more precious a metal is means more rare it is. It is true back then that, it's a little bit harder to get diamonds because we don't have technology to process it. But now, absolutely common because they're like everywhere. But in the same time, like it is so widely used in the, like industry stuff like diamond tip saw, for example, and diamond drills. Those are very very common thing and common application for diamonds, and yet people sell diamonds for a fortune. Like, like a if you want a nail size, like if you want a pinky nail size diamond, that's gonna cost you at least your yearly, like half of your yearly salary. If you ever had, like a minimum wage job, that would probably cost like half your, yearly salary. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It would be even crazier when you put it on a ring. I felt like diamonds, all these precious metal that has been hyped up so much has no practical value to the person when they own it, other than the fact that it's applicable in things like, sauce, for example, or like you turn it into powder. And the thing is, like diamond powder, this kind of stuff, they apply it for many other things. They apply it for many other things, like they turn it into like a inert glass, you know, inert glass powder, so that things can like separate or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that there are so many like application for precious metal, but people mostly tier it based from how they want to value it in market terms, which is why I felt like it's pretty weird. Let's see. Electric A34 says, "Look, it's me from 10 minutes ago." Client Moretti 96321 says, "Me too." Electric A34 says, "XZ." Yes, 10 minutes ago is you guys. The lag is that bad. I'm so sorry. Alright, so for precious metal tier list, I'm gonna put it on D tier. We are racing towards a civilization where technology is advanced, and yet we can't figure out stones and the value of stones because of marketing. It is so fucked. Now, animal tier list. Just like animals like animals. Okay, so animals tier list. I 100% support any animal tier list. Have you guys ever watched Tier Zoo? I love Tier Zoo. They're amazing. But also, when it comes to like lethality of animal, when it comes to cuteness of animal, we have so many things to tier them based from that, right? So animal tier lists are most of the time very factual because people won't just choose it because people can't just usually whatever relevancy of the tier list, it still applies to real life. It's realistic, and that it makes sense. Like which animal is the most dangerous, then they'll start tiering them out. It makes sense. Which animal is cute, they start tiering them out. It makes sense. Whatever tier list when that is regarding animal, all of them has been mostly factual, which is really really good. But there are people that fear mongers, like other people due to like certain animals and stuff like that. I think that is misleading. Like non-profit organization making people that eat, like non-profit like animal rights activists uh, often, make people that eat meat feel guilty about what they are doing, but I feel like that is the only exception that, you know, the animal tier list has not been, being used to, like, go against people. And I felt like that is really, really, like, you know, I don't know, harmful behavior to, like, tear them out, and then they'll say, like, oh, they're in danger because people are eating them or not. I mean, like, people can stop eating them, I guess. I guess, like, people nowadays understand the value of animal, and also, like, how they provide a perfect ecosystem for our earth, which is why animal conservation is a thing. But people, like, animal activists, has been, like, pushing people a lot when it comes to, like, eating animals and stuff like that. And because of that, like, they usually made it into the tier list related to animals, and they're usually widely hated, which, from a certain viewpoint, is very valid for what they do. But mostly, I feel like animal tier list is pretty good. I love animal tier list. I love listening about animal tier list. They're great. Learning more new things about animals and nature around them, and how they hunt, how they mate, how they, like, find new place to stay, build their nest, hibernate, you know, migrate, whatever it is. Animals are pretty cool, and so are the people that making tier lists for them. So I'm going to put the animal tier list on S tier. Yeah, I feel like S tier is good. Definitely less better than, like, food, but definitely an S tier. Animal is food too, so I would say S tier. Now, moving on to supplements. We talked about food earlier, but now what about supplements? Supplements, in my personal opinion, can fuck off. Supplements and people that make tier lists for supplements are really bad. They just want you to buy their supplements. Seriously, every time people said, like, make tier lists about supplements, and also, like, what supplement they should take, it has something to do with branding, but also marketing, which both, like we said earlier, is affecting our ability to enjoy what's already given. Most supplements, are, like, man-made, but the effectiveness of supplements are varied. And so every time people are making tier lists about supplements and nutrition, they usually have something to sell. And you don't want that. You don't want to mislead people to buy the supplement that you have, that might harm people, not just harm people's wallet, but also harm people's well-being and mental health. So I felt like supplement tier list usually is very, very, very low tier. Food, high tier. Supplement tier list, shit. I don't want to hear it. Supplements has been really, really bad. It's catching up quite fast. Oh, animal tier list, then rock tier list. Is that water tier list? Question mark. XD Electric says. Air tier list. Oh my god. I think it is smell tier list. Yes, yes, yes. Um. Yes. I'll move on. Supplement here is bad because most of the time when people talk about supplements and supplement tiers and stuff like that, usually they have something to sell you, or they're trying to promote something that some other thing already does for a cheaper price because it's, their partners or whatever. It feels so weird, right? Some purist market and also, like, videos usually have very, very ill intention behind it, and I hate that. This is well-being that we're talking about, and you're taking advantage of us. I don't like that. Now, moving on. Moving on. We have weapon tier list. Now, hear me out here, people. You can't see this because, like, it's kind of small. But it's all the swords, bows, and, like weapon, historically accurate and powerful weapons. But yeah, weapon tier list. Whenever people are making a weapon tier list, I felt like they are the most thorough people. They make complete lists of the pros and cons of every single weapon. And I would say, by far, this tier list is the most goated tier list. Yes, like, it's very specific to the things they're talking about. When they're talking about guns, gun tier list, it's usually guns will be included. And there wouldn't be like knife or, swords. But whenever there's a tier list about a weapon, it's usually lore accurate. And it makes sense and it's very entertaining because there's so many facts about the weapon itself. I felt very biased when it comes to this one because every single weapon tier list and weapon tier list video that I've watched has been really, really entertaining. So I'm gonna put this S tier. Not only that, I'm gonna move it to #1 spot on S tier. Weapon has claimed the top spot for the S tier, the best of the best in tier list. Let's see. At least I think it smells so much for chat catching up fast. It's been stuck on the same message forever now. I'm gonna this time when Table is reading this, she's on weapon tier list. It deserves to be somewhere A or B. My little streamer with ADHD can't be this cute, bro. What the hell? Clem already says historical difference and whatnot. Yes. Weapon tier list is goated! So goated! I don't know about that title, Electric. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, people, moving on. We need to speed run this. Holy shit. Now, streamer tier list. Streamer tier list. Or content creator tier list. This one, I hate, but I cannot hate it too much. Sometimes it makes sense, but sometimes it's really, really bad. It's very situational. Whenever you watch like a content creator tier list and stuff like that, anything that have a content creator like in a chart or whatnot, I don't know. I feel like it's been quite bad. The tier list for content creation and like they'd be like, oh yeah, this person does this person does that, and they will usually linger their entire they will usually use their entire history if possible. If not, they'll talk about the most recent event that made them look really, really bad. However, tier listing them, like there are like drama and also like there are like video about people doing bad things and content creation doing bad things. But I wouldn't say that is a tier list. When they compare another content creator to another, I felt like that is very unfair, unjust. But at the same time, whatever they say sometimes makes sense. As in, like, this is the general, like, attitude of this streamer. This is the general thing about the streamer, right? And people would be like, "Oh, this person is a vibe killer. This person is a troller," and so. And I can understand when they tier list those, but if they start tier listing like those people and mix them with actual nice people that only make the mistake once or twice, I felt like it's a little bit misleading and unfair. So I don't know. I feel like they should. I felt like this should be put somewhere in the middle or below, like the tier list section. Um, chat, we are lost. Definitely XD. What? What are you guys lost about? I'm talking about content creator tier list. I felt like content creator tier list is definitely under game, but not under fashion. Not gonna lie, she's spitting facts about the supplements. I know I'm right. My opinion is base. Alright, people. We're gonna move on to the next one. Film. This is a film machine from, the early times. I also got it on Wikipedia, the film machine. But the film in general, right? I felt like film and film tier list. Film itself is great. It's literally cinema. Absolute cinema. I can't move my hand, but wait 1 second. Absolute cinemas. What the hell? Wait, I used. Absolute cinema. Wait. What is this? AI? Wait. What? This is meme subject? What the hell? Bro, you want me to sign up first? Give me 1 second, people. I'm gonna sign up real quick, alright? I'm just gonna sign up real quick. Let's see. Electric. Speaking emoji. Klein, you were right. She's on weapon tier list. Natsuki. Smiling face. Raised hand. Raised hand on the back. Klein low. Nice prediction. When she's reading this, she's on smell. It's a hard tier list, but if music and color are on A, it has to be on there as well. At least it could be a B, and Max is S. Wait Why are you guys predicting me now? What? I'm still on film. I'm still on film, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god, there's so many chat. Wait, hold on, people. Uh, let's see. Blinding strike twice. What? Is now film topic? Question mark. Lucilla says. Climb already says. No, this is not gonna work. Electric says. I doubt you'll be right on next time, Climb. Lucilla says. Yeah, I watched Titanic once. Climb already says. Because the delay we have to predict. Zephyr says. I decided to skip ahead now. I'm feeling I'm missing out. Uh, don't worry about it, guys. I'm about to, like... I'm about to generate something funny. Uploading images. What the hell? Oh my god. Okay, I can't really... Oh no! I'm sorry. It's taking so long. Yup. I'm gonna upload this. Quickly do this. And then I'll do this. Uh, and then... My god, there's so many things. Where is it? Where is it? Bo. I'm just gonna draw, bro. What the hell? Okay. This is so stupid. Okay. When your boss says, bring a table to the meeting and you take it personally. Absolute cinema. Literally cinema. I felt like cinemas has been pretty bad when it comes to tier lists. But yeah. Let's see. Not even a minute delay now. It's definitely more than a minute. Oh, yo, delay is actually getting fixed. Okay, I was capping, but it's definitely getting better. Ooh, my time is up now. Gotta go. Oh, bye, Sophie. Claire already says, can't wait to burst out laughing the moment table shows it. What? It's not that good. Future reaction here. What the hell? Stop predicting the future. Night 5 says, 7 o'clock in the evening watching something stupid on TV. I'm ready to say bye, Sophie. Sophie, bye. She said, this is behind the music with What? Lind Skynear. All that talk about food before got me hungry. Eating pancakes now, boys. Yes, eat pancakes. Glenn already says, night bye, bro. You okay? Neva says, why are you asking that? Yummers. Because I don't understand what you're talking about. Yes. We don't understand, man. Anyway, for films, because of how the film industry, it's like there isn't much competition in the film industry. Many people say there is a lot, but there is just like corporate giants. There's like corporate giants that control a lot of like, creative art industry and then pushing out like slop for us. Disney slop. Oh my god. So many Disney slop, and now there is so many of the, I don't know, like art slop that is like made into like film. You guys talked about like, have you guys ever seen the first ever fully AI generated movie? It is so bad. I don't even know how people can actually watch that. It is just so bad. I can't believe people can even put it up into the cinema. But yeah, I think that is really, really bad. What? Natsuki messaged me on Discord saying I need BGM. What the heck? You guys want BGM? You guys want BGMs? I'm not hearing any sound here. You guys want BGMs? I thought there's no more delay. Let me add a scene then. One second. I can't add layers. Why can't I add layers? My god. I'll just like copy paste this thingy then. Oh my god! I can't do anything about that right now. So, guys, you need to bear with me a little bit. An AI slop. You guys seen Bigfoot vlogs? It's so bad. Nah, I've seen Bigfoot vlogs too. What? What happened to the hands? What? But yes, I feel like film tier listing. People that tier list the films, they don't understand that it is been like controlled so much by the industry, and so sometimes they tier list things that are not very correct, I would say. So I'm gonna make it less. It's a B tier as well, but it's gonna be less than weather. It's gonna be very unreliable. Yeah, people would say like, "Oh yes, you should watch this movie, you should watch that movie," but at the end of the day, you'll watch everything just so that you can like rate it yourself, just so that you can put them in the tier list yourself. So at that point, what's the point, you know? You want to watch every single movie, just go watch it. Because most of the time, people say, "Oh, this movie is bad, this movie is good," but then you never know until you actually watch it, right? But yes, there's so many movies that uses AI now. Like, oh man, what? I don't understand. It's so bad. But yes, I'm gonna put it a little bit lower than B tier. Now, anime time. Holy shit! I'm gonna put it on A tier. Immediately put it on A tier. Mostly because although anime have a lot of like crazy fan, and how they'll be like, no, my anime is better, my anime is better, our anime is better, your anime suck, right? Many of them do that, but still, they're respectful enough to understand that anime is great, anime is good, and they would be, some of them are respectful, some are not, but I would say it is a very bottom of A tier, I would say. This is just my bias. I felt like, if you watch anime, you're not there for proportionally accurate, like, boob size or whatnot. You are there because you wanna, listen to the story, look at the artwork, and stuff like that, right? And that's one of the reasons why I really, really like anime. Especially like isekai anime, isekai, fantasy anime, magic, and stuff like that. It's really something that I really like. My god. But we also have very low quality anime, which, I mean, for real though, let's take a look. I can just get this and green screen it to my area. Hold on, let's see it. One Punch Man. Season 3, Episode 2, Garo scene green screen. Yup. This summarized... This... This kind of summarized the entire thing. There are really, 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 really bad animations sometimes. But I mean, we can't... Should I get Garo into my... Should I get Garo into the thingy? Wait. I think we should. Let's get him here. Let's call upon the man himself. Let's see if we can put him in here. Never mind, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't. But, it's fine, people, it's fine. We just saw your surgery for a second. What? You mean this? Let's see. Uma Musume! Oh my god, I hate Uma Musume. I don't hate the anime when I say I never watch it. I just don't like the concept of that specific anime. Yeah, there are some people that do that. Night Vibe says, we just saw your surgery for a second. My surgery is fine. Low key, the Blue Archive anime deserves season 2, just putting that out there. Nah, bro, you just wanna see cunnies. Electric says, please, next song. Nightly Vibe says, huh? My same reaction when he said Blue Archive deserves second. Bro, just wanna see the gun! I mean, now we are here. We are here for the legendary smell tier list. What should we put for the smell tier list? The smell tier list, honestly, I felt like, you know, the smell tier list deserve a little bit better than the color tier list. Is it as good as the music tier list? Ooh, I don't know. I could live forever without needing to smell, but if I can smell nice flower, if I can smell nice scent, that would be great. So I'm gonna put smell immediately on slightly better than color. Mostly because you can be colorblind to colors, but if you're smell blind, then you're not losing anything out. You're not losing out on anything. It doesn't impair you that much. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as smell tests, so it's good. But low-key, the premise of the game itself is top tier. Nah, bro. You just wanted the premise of the game itself. What the hell, bro? You just wanna be surrounded by little girls, man. I don't know. Oh my god. If you don't wanna play the game, just try watching the anime. It's here on YouTube for free. Bro, you just wanna surround yourself with little girls, man. Electric, stop digging yourself a hole. It's lagging again. My bad. Too bad I can't do nothing about it. You hit Uma Musume, yeah? Yeah? What are you gonna do about it? Oh my god. Uma Musume is for those people that are addicted to like horse gambling that cannot put down the addiction, so they decided to do gachas. Please, I didn't mean it. I didn't want somebody help. What? What do you mean? Electric says, Loki, I wanna smell you. Alright. Keep that in the DMs, bro. Keep that in the DMs, little bro. Let's move on, alright? Let's move on, quick. The next one is price value. People that, tier list price to value anything. Tier list for parts, PC parts, tier list for brands, tier list for like, you know, value for anything on any product. I think that they deserve S tier, a low S tier, mostly because whatever those people are, comparing price to value, it makes sense. Whatever tier list they are doing, it usually focus on that solely price per value, whatever it is, right? It can be a fast food joint, you know, a price to value, fast food combo, like how to buy a price per value combo meal, whatever it is. Pick this if you want to be full, like a meal hack or whatever, things like that. And also, like, if you're coming here, don't buy this, don't buy that, instead buy this, buy that, because then you can get this and that. Yes, most of it is very personal preference as well, but it has the premise of focusing on one singular thing, and it does it really, really well. Instead of price performance, tier list is really, really good. Most of the videos I've seen is very nice. There are some that is for electronics, PC building, phones. Some is for food, some is for places to stay and vacation and packages for like things like that. And some is for buying things online. So it's really really diverse. However, it focuses on one thing and it's very very relatable. So I put it very very high tier. Now, country tier list. This one, you're judging a country overall like experience and putting them into a tier list. That is a little bit I don't know. I don't know. I feel like country tier list is a little bit unfair because country tier list doesn't represent a person of a country. They just represent the whole country, you know, by itself, and people can disagree with it so easily. What? She hates Uma Musume. What? Don't. Yeah, I kinda don't like Uma Musume. I said that the community around Uma Musume is a little bit nah. I don't know, man. Have you seen the Uma Musume community? Not really something that you want to be part of. The premise itself is great, right? It's basically just it's kind of like sports anime, But the thing is, you can dislike it so much because of the community around it. And I would say the Uma Musume community is crazy, bro. I don't know about you, but at least the one I see is insane. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Right, moving on. I feel like country tier list is a little bit unfair because you are tier listing an entire country by yourself, and surely there's so many things that you've missed. And when it comes to personal like experiences, where you've gone there already and stuff like that, you still have not seen everything. And so I felt like country tier list is very inconsistent to itself. I really felt like it's unfair to tier them at all. So country tier list, I'm gonna put country tier list on C. So far we have pretty even like score with a lot of S tier, surprisingly. Now, electronic tier list. This one specifically comes to electronics. Anything that have to do with electronics. Tier listing for those things are very important nowadays because of the RAM prices and whatnot. RAM prices increasing every other prices of all electronics. So it makes sense that having tier lists for electronic, for anything, for TV, for PC parts, for phones, to buying like LED light strips, whatever it is, a toaster even. So yeah, uh, that's the thing. I felt like electronic tier list is something that I felt very important to be tiered. Very important because there's a lot of people that are not very literate when it comes to like electronics. For example, my mother. She would definitely benefit from like those tier list videos. What the hell is this? What? Um Electric, it's okay, Lobs. I like Uma Musume. Bro, why are we still on Uma Musume? You guys are making me dislike Uma Musume even more now. I'm gonna tell them horses about this. Bro, you are not serious. You are trying to make a actual horse to be a horse girl. I think you are actually the one that has the problem. People that fantasize like actual animal as a human, now that is a problematic thing, right? You don't do that. There's already people that romanticize like tanks and warship and stuff like that. We don't need actual horses, man. We really don't need. We really don't need. Like I said, Uma Musume is literally for those people that are gambling addicted and felt like they should make an anime and game about it. Seriously, I am not even kidding. And the community is absolutely dog shit. I really, really cannot stand Uma Musume community, bro. They're absolutely insane and unhinged. Um, let's see. Yeah, I like Musumu too, and there is no debate. Ledric says she won't be sleeping tonight, that's for sure. What do you mean? I like Uma Musume, like the character design, you know. I mean, I don't like the name, I mean, because it's based from actual horses, but I really like the character design. I like the concept of the game. I like the racing aspect and how the game progresses, I guess, in a way. But I don't like the community and what the game is based from. It's literally about horse gambling. Literally about horse gambling. Nothing else. Like, what the fuck? Are you seriously trying to, like, say that is good? What's wrong with you guys? Now let's see. Uma Musume-con cannot be that serious. Klein Moretti said, Loswala said Skull. Horse racing might be though. That's what I'm saying. People have lost their entire savings because of the horse racing. And then you're gonna glorify gambling? Really? Not even... Because horse racing itself got popular because you can gamble with it. You can gamble with it. If it's just because like you like the horses and you want to see them race again, this is so minor. Like, it's such a minority of people that liked actual horses racing without the gambling aspect to it, or like betting on something. If it's just like a regular show on the Olympics, no gambling whatsoever, people would have way less interest in it, seriously. And if it's not because of anime itself, Uma Musume wouldn't even be a thing. Which is why I put like anime pretty high. But Uma Musume, not really. Not really. I do not take any fiction seriously. This is what I warn my viewers. Everything I upload is satire. I mean, yes. Try not to take fictional stuff too seriously. But in the same time, you can enjoy whatever fictional stuff with a grain of salt. I enjoy the character design, like I said, but I just don't like how the Uma Musume is based from. It's kind of like Pokemon. right? What is Pokemon based from? The name itself implies Pokemon or pocket monster. There are some parents in Japan that doesn't allow their children to play Pokemon because it implies that they are raising monsters, essentially. But in the anime itself, like tells more that Pokemon is basically replacing like animals in Pokemon universe, I guess. But yes, Electric says the Uma X Trainer agenda must be maintained. Whatever, bro. Clan Moretti says, what about we take a step back from Uma Musume? I'm trying to. You guys are keep on talking about it. Lupsuela in a fighting scene? Question mark. We take a step back and fall right back into Table's arm. Yes. The table will catch us all. The table is omnipresent. Now let's see. I would say electronic, very important, as important as value stuff. I would say they are S tier as well. Very easy. Now, moving on to Democratic Party tier list, or any politics tier list in general. D tier. If I can put F tier, I would, but I don't know. Yes. F tier. Easily F tier. Not even close. Calm down, that's me 3 hours ago. I'm changed. What the hell? Alright, next one is Trend. I am a big fan of Trend. I feel like Trend is funny. Although I don't follow Trend, I feel like Trend is pretty funny and that they deserve a little bit more attention because that's what formed human society. But in the same time, Trend tier list sounds, both accurate but also weirdly historical. Do you guys know about the trend, in the past where people would, put rocks in their socks and use it as a weapon? In the hood weapon. And then do you guys know about the trend where people play fidget spinner? That is such a long trend. It's lost in the past, lost in the sauce, bro. It's been such a long time since I've seen that. And yes, it is still a trend, and cheering them, letting people know that, oh, this is that. I feel like it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate and usually entertaining. You'll be like, oh my gosh, the good old days, So I feel like Trend is gonna go to a high B tier. We have 2 more. Plant tier list. Now, Plant tier list is, I would say, very good. I'm gonna put it immediately on higher than anime. Yes, I'm putting the grass, above anime. So I'm telling you guys to touch grass. Plants is goated. Plants is goated for tier list. When you want to plant something, you do that. If you want to, survive from starvation, just watch some plant tier lists. You see what plant can be edible. It's great. We need plants in our life. It's how we breathe oxygen. So plant tier list just makes sense. I felt like plant tier list would be a very high tier. It will be very informational, educational, accurate, and also probably entertaining too. The more you learn about plants, the more you learn about animals. So in a way, it's S tier, I guess, but it's A tier because you know, I felt like animals would be more interesting than plants in a way. It's more eye catching and, cool stuff. But plants still ranked pretty high. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on higher than, color. I'm gonna put it higher than color. Plants are great, okay? What can I say? Last but not least, advice tier list. Advice tier list. Where should we put this? When taking advices, you put them into a tier list instead of like following them. I felt like advice tier lists had an opportunity to go pretty high above the thingy, the ranks. Unfortunately, advice tier list only works when you follow it and do it. And so if you avoided a bad advice, you immediately already know that's a bad advice and shouldn't follow it anyway. So you wouldn't even put it in a tier list because you wouldn't even consider that it's a good advice or a bad advice because you already know it's a bad advice, so you avoid it entirely. So when you put like all the good advice together as a tier list, usually it's pretty good because you want to choose the most best outcome out of all of those advices. So I felt like advice can definitely be a very high tier tier list. So I think I'm gonna put it. Thinking about this, I'm gonna put it higher than brand. Yes. I think that's our tier list right now, guys. I think this is our complete tier list. I think this is great. Honestly. Look at this. For the top tier list, we got weapon tier list, we got food tier list, we got animal tier list, we got price and value tier list, and we got electronic tier list. For A, we got music tier list, smell tier list, plant tier list, color tier list, anime tier list. For B, we got advice tier list. For brand tier list, trend tier list, car tier list, weather tier list, film tier list. For C, we got game tier list, we got country tier list, we got streamer tier list, and we got fashion tier list. For D, we got metal and precious metal tier list and supplement tier list. E is nothing, and for F tier list, we got any political party or a politic related tier list. So that's it. I felt like this is a good tier list. I'm gonna download this. This is a good tier list. I don't know about you guys, but this is a absolutely good tier list. Politics, go. What? I bet Electric says, I bet PETA doesn't like Pokemon too. Laughing emoji. Clyde Moretti says, PETA doesn't like anything, honestly. Buswala says, politics, go. Zephyr says, eliminated. Electric says, whole new tier for it too. Lucilla says, politics being the lowest part in hell, I swear. Zephyr says, 6, 7. True. Great. You guys should join my like a Discord server and give me like suggestion for what tier list I should put into the tier list section. But yeah, this is part 1. I wish I could make part 2, but currently I'm kind of busy right now. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me. Damn. You guys there's a lot of you guys here. Damn. so many people chatting. The boxes are like we're like disappearing and stuff like that. So what do you guys think? Nice stuff. Yeah, finished my business, Plum. Wait. Chat, I'm finally cured of the 6-7. I don't even notice anymore that people say it unless someone mentions it. Holy shit, Zipper, you're back! Lupsa said Plum. Zipper, Sophie said, yeah, finished my business. Glenn said, nice stuff. Lupsa says, oh, plants. Yes. I'm just gonna start eating, bro. I finished tier listing. Okay, so I deserve some reward. Nokiyama, go take a shower. Have fun, guys. Okay. Okay. Go shower, Smelly. The trailer is just gonna end pretty soon. Already ended. Already ended, bro.